This is one of my very favorite stories. It's called A Baby Sister for Frances by Russell Hoban. And Lillian Hoban drew the pictures. There are a couple of books in this series about Frances, and I have enjoyed reading these books for many, many years. I was only about 5 years old when this book was first written, so it's a book I knew when I was a child. If you've ever had a new baby brother or sister, you know that when a new baby comes, you don't get as much attention as you got before. The baby cries, it needs to be fed. Mommy and Daddy don't have as much time to play with you. And that's what happened to Frances. She got a new baby sister and didn't want to live at home anymore. The animals in this book are called badgers. A badger is an animal that lives in the United States, and they dig holes, burrows under the ground the way wombats do. They live under the ground. A badger can be quite ferocious, but the badgers in this story are a very happy family. So there's Father, there's Mother, there's the baby, and there's Frances. I wonder why she's sitting under the sink. It was a quiet evening. Father was reading his newspaper. Mother was feeding Gloria, the new baby. Frances was sitting under the kitchen sink, and she was singing a little song. Plinkety, 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 plink. Here is the dish rag that's under the sink. Here are the buckets and brushes and me. Plinkety, 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 plee. Frances stopped singing and listened. Nobody said anything. Frances thought she needed to make some noise, so she went to her room and took some gravel out of the drawer where she'd been saving it. Gravel are little rocks, so she took all these rocks and put the gravel into her empty coffee tin and put the lid back on the tin. I think that would be noisy. Frances marched into the living room and rattled the gravel in the tin, and as she marched, she sang a marching song. Here we go marching, rattly bang, here we go marching, rattly bang. Please don't do that, Frances, said Father. Frances stopped. All right, she said. She went back to the kitchen and sat down under the sink. Mother came in carrying Gloria. Why are you sitting under the sink, said Mother. I like it here, said Frances. It's cozy. Would you like to help me put Gloria to bed, said Mother. How much pocket money does Gloria get, said Frances. Oh, she's too little to have pocket money, said Father. Only big girls like you get pocket money. Isn't it nice to be a big sister? It's time for bed, said Father. Father picked Frances up from under the sink and gave her a piggyback ride to bed. Oh, you love piggyback rides, don't you? Piggyback rides from Granddad, piggyback rides from Daddy, and from Mummy too. Mother and Father tucked her in and kissed her goodnight. I need my tiny special blanket, said Frances. Mother gave her the tiny special blanket. I need my tricycle and my sleigh and both of my teddy bears, and I need my toy alligator doll, said Frances. Father brought in the tricycle and the sleigh. Mother gave her both teddy bears and her alligator doll. Then Mother and Father kissed her goodnight again, and Frances went to sleep. I don't think she really needed to sleep with her tricycle and her sleigh, but she might have been feeling a little bit sad. In the morning, Frances got up and washed and began to dress for school. Is my favorite blue dress ready for me to wear? Said Frances. Oh dear, said Mother. I was so busy with Gloria that I did not have time to iron it, so you will have to wear the yellow dress. Has that ever happened to you when you had an outfit or something special that you wanted to wear and it wasn't clean, it was still in the laundry? Well, Frances wanted to wear her blue dress, but Mummy didn't have time to iron it. Frances is too little to iron it herself, so she had to wear her yellow one. Mother buttoned Frances up the back. Then she brushed her hair and put a new ribbon in and put her breakfast on the table. "Why did you put sliced bananas on the oatmeal?" said Frances. "Did you forget that I like raisins?" "No, I didn't forget," said Mother. "But you ate all the raisins for snack yesterday, and I have not been shopping yet." "Well, things are not very good around here anymore," said Frances. "No clothes to wear, no raisins for the oatmeal. I think maybe I'll run away." "Well, eat your breakfast first," said Mother. "It's almost time for school." "What time will dinner be tonight?" said Frances. 6:30, said Mother. "Then I shall have plenty of time to run away after dinner," said Frances. She kissed her mother goodbye, climbed on the school bus, and went to school. After dinner that evening, Frances packed her little backpack with her special little blanket. She took money from her piggy bank in case she needed it for traveling. She took a box of prunes, 5 chocolate biscuits, and her toy alligator doll. I wonder where she's going to run away to. "Well," said Frances, "it's time to say goodbye. I'm on my way." "Where are you running away to?" said Father. "I think that under the dining room table is the best place," said Frances. "It's cozy, and the kitchen is nearby if I run out of biscuits." "That is a good place to run away to," said Mother. "I'll miss you." "I'll miss you too," said Father. "Well, goodbye," said Frances, and she ran away under the dining room table. There's Frances sitting under the dining room table with her backpack. There's Father reading the newspaper, and there's Mother. She's knitting. Do you think she might be knitting something for the new baby? Father sat down with his newspaper. Mother picked up the sweater she was knitting. Father put the newspaper down again. "You know," he said, "it's not the same house without Frances." "That's just exactly what I was thinking," said Mother. "This place seems lonely and empty without her." Frances sat under the dining room table and ate her prunes. "Even Gloria," said Mother, "small as she is, can feel the difference." "I can hear her crying a little now," said Father. "Well," said Mother, "a girl looks up to her older sister. You know that." Father picked up the newspaper and then he put it down again. "I miss the songs that Frances used to sing," said Father. "I was so fond of those little songs," said Mother. "Do you remember the one about the tomato?" "What does the tomato say early in the dawn?" sang Mother. "Time to be all red again now that night is gone," sang Father. "Yes," he said, "that was a good one. But my favorite has always been, when the wasps and the bumblebees have a party, nobody comes that can't buzz." "Well," said Mother, "we'll just have to get used to a quiet house now, with no Frances around." Frances ate 3 of the biscuits and put 2 away for later. She began to sing, "I am poor and hungry here, eating prunes and rice. Living all alone is not really very nice." She didn't have rice. She had chocolate biscuits, but she didn't think that sounded quite right in the song. "I can almost hear her now," said Father. "It sounds almost like she's singing a little song." "Oh, it's just not a family without Frances," said Mother. "Babies are very nice. Goodness knows I like babies, but a baby is not a family." "Well, isn't that a fact?" said Father. "A family is everybody all together. Boy, they sure miss her, don't they? Remember, said Mother, how I used to say, think how lucky the new baby will be to have a sister like Frances? Yeah, I remember that very well, said Father, and I hope that Gloria turns out to be as clever and as good as Frances. With a big sister like Frances to help her along, she ought to turn out very well, said Mother. Except that Frances isn't here, said Father. Frances has run away. I'd sure like to hear from Frances, said Mother. Yeah, I would too, said Father. I'd like to hear from Frances and know how she's doing. Oh, said Mother, this sweater I'm knitting for Frances is not quite right. I need her to try it on to know that the sleeves are the right size. Hello, called Frances from under the dining room table. Hello, is that you? This is me. How are you? Hello, said Mother. Yes, this is us. This is Father and I. This is a nice place, but we miss you. Yeah, said Frances. You miss your family when you're away. We're well, said Father, but we sure miss you. I shall be home soon, said Frances. Did you hear that? Said Mother. She'll be home soon. That is good news indeed, said Father. Mother said, I'm so excited I think I'll bake a cake. Frances put on her backpack and sang a little traveling song. Big sisters really have to stay at home, not travel far away, because everybody misses them and wants to hug and kisses them. I'm not sure about that last rhyme, said Frances as she arrived in the living room with her backpack. It's a good enough rhyme, said Father. I like it very much, said Mother, and they both hugged her and kissed her. What kind of cake are you baking? Said Frances to Mother. I'm making a chocolate cake, said Mother. It's too bad that Gloria's too little to have some, said Frances. But when she's a big girl like me, she can have chocolate cake too. Oh, yes, said Mother. You can be sure that in our family there will always be plenty of chocolate cake. So Frances felt sad that she didn't get as much attention as before, but she learned that a family is everybody all together. She learned that her family needs her, and she learned that her baby sister thinks that Frances is pretty special. I hope you liked that book because it's one of Nana's favorites.